What's up guys, PippiDeed here, and welcome to episode 31 of my road to Manchester City. We're at 635,000 coins, just so close to that Inform 90 rated Aguero, just like 200,000 coins off, and we still have a lot of things to sell. But before we talk about the things we're yet to sell, let's talk about the things we have sold. So David Luiz trading method that I was talking to you guys about. Basically, I went ahead and bid on a bunch of David Luiz's for 2,000 coins during the Chinese New Year. And I got a few, I got over 20, I believe. And I started listing them up for 3,000 coins, even though that's not what he was going for. But for some reason, people are lazy and they don't even go for the cheapest one. They just, whatever they see, they just buy it. And a bunch of them sold for 3,000 coins. So we made a couple of hundred coins on each David Luiz that we sold. And we sold a bunch, as you see over here. And we made some nice profit on that. His price actually went up a little too, so that's why most of them are selling them for 3K. He was going for 2.2 at one point, and now he's going for like 2.6, 2.7. So hopefully that does help us, because I think we still have a few more David Luiz's. Otamendi that we bought a few months ago for 170,000 coins. We sold him for 300,000. Obviously, we had to rebuy him back because he's part of the team, but we sold him for 300,000. And I bought him back for 230,000. So that means after tax and subtracting and adding a little bit, we made about 55,000 coins on that Otamendi, which was an amazing profit. And that's something we've seen before with Kevin De Bruyne. We bought him back for cheap, we sell him for higher, and we keep doing that. And we make some nice coins while we still have the De Bruyne. Shane Long that we bought for around 13,000 during the Team of the Year, sold one for 25,000 coins. The hype for the Irish tournament is just growing and growing, and the prices are going up. Another David Luiz over here for 3,000 coins. Three of our Sheehans that we bought for around 1,000 coins or less sold all for 4,000 coins. And then this Gaspar over here, I also bought him as a quick investment. Bought him for around 12,000, 13,000 coins. Quickly sold him for 16,000 coins. Not a lot of profit on him, but a couple thousand coins, which isn't too bad. And then we also have a bunch of Irish players that we're still holding on to, still yet to sell. And once all of these guys sell, including the David Luiz's, I honestly think that we might have enough to buy Aguero. I'm not sure. He might go up in price too, which is another thing. But we're going to be really close once everything sells. Obviously, we still have some Maxwells that we invested in too. I'm still listing them up for 15,000 coins. The De Bruyne, I stopped listing him recently because I was scared that he was going to get an upgrade on Friday, which is today, the day I'm recording this. Looks like he didn't get an upgrade, so we're going to go ahead, send him to the club, and we're going to play with him now. And still holding on to a few more Shane Longs, more Maxwells, and obviously I list up Sterling and Otamendi every so often. But let me just prove to you that I did buy him back for 230,000 coins, just in case you didn't believe me. And we're going to go ahead, send them to the club, because we're going to go ahead and play with the first team now in Division 5. Hopefully we can do better this time around. Let's go into the game right now. So we're going to go ahead and play the first game of the episode, and we're going to play with the First City squad, because I did tell you guys last episode that I really want to be using only this squad in Division 1, because I don't feel like the second team is good enough. So hopefully you guys agree with that. If you don't, I could still play with the second city squad, just maybe not in divisions, maybe single matches or something like that. We'll still get coins and still build up for that Aguero that we're missing. We come across this guy though in Division 5, who's got a pretty nice Serie A side over here, some pretty good and fast attackers right there with Candreva and Salah, and I believe that is Insigne. That's not Insigne, Cam. Who is that, Cam? I'm not too sure who it is, but I think he's pretty good. And he would get the first chance of the game in the 30th minute over here. This guy was a pretty good opponent. He played better than I thought he would with that squad. Mandzukic with a great chance to make it 1-0 right there. Luckily for us, though, the post bails us out right there as it clears it off. So we head into the second half, just tied at 0-0. He's creating the better chances. He's creating a lot of chances, actually, as you see right there from the stats. We are yet to get a shot on target. We're pretty close on possession, but we just can't seem to create anything, and it's starting to worry me a little bit. But hopefully in the second half we can have a better half, as we're getting a little bit more used to how this guy plays. And in the 50th minute we would get a chance over here. David Silva to Otamendi, Otamendi to Iheanacho, Iheanacho to Clichy, Clichy to Bony, and Bony unfortunately can't get the first try, can't get the rebound, and that time we hit the post and it managed not to go in. So We're still 0-0, and in the 60th minute or around there, I thought, you know what, let's do some subs, put De Bruyne at cam because I feel like that is his better position, bring on Navas, bring on Yaya Toure for a more attacking player, Navas for the pace, and hopefully we can create something better like that in the upcoming minutes. So bring on those guys, take off David Silva, which is a crucial player to take off, but I really feel like De Bruyne is better at camp, so we put him there. And in the 86th minute over here, Yaya Toure passes it to Clichy. Clichy is going to swing in a cross, and somehow Iheanacho manages to beat Evra in the air. Well, I guess Evra is a little bit small, isn't he? But I'm not too sure how great Iheanacho's heading is. Beats Ever right there at the far post, and we find the back of the net, and with that we get a 1-0 lead win, and that was very, very, very scrappy. We played it pretty poor, we didn't create too many chances, and we got a little bit lucky at the end of the game right there when we scored, and we managed to get 3 points, which was probably a little bit unfair for this guy because he did have the better first half. He still played pretty amazing in the second half, and he probably should have deserved a win or at least a draw in that game, because I really don't think we were the better team at times. But that's just FIFA for you. Sometimes the player that doesn't play that great ends up winning, and it's kind of similar to real life, I guess. Hart right there with 14 saves, definite man of the match, and look at the stats right there. He absolutely dominated us. We didn't play that great. We did get better though in the second half with possession and stuff like that, but I really don't think we deserved the win right there. But we're now 2-0-3, which is still a pretty bad record in Division 5, and we're gonna go and look at the trades. We sold more Irish players over here. Smith we sold for 1.5, sold a bunch of David Luiz's at 3k. Our Maxwells all sold, so we no longer have any more Maxwells. We all bought them for 12,000 or less. Sold them all for 15,000 coins. Our Shane Long that we bought during Team of the Year for 13,000 all sold for 22,000, and we're just so close to that Aguero. We're like a couple of thousand coins away. I think he's going for around 800,000. Sometimes he goes to 780,000. So we're so close. I can almost taste it, but it's going to take at least one episode or two before we can get to that. So hopefully, if he does continue to drop, we can almost afford him. We're just so close to completing the City squad, and I think a striker is something we really need, because as much as I love Iheanacho and Bony, they are not that clinical anymore. And well, I say that, but Iheanacho scored a winning goal in the last game, but I just don't feel like they're up to par with the team in the midfield and in the defense. So hopefully with Aguero, we can win more games, and I expect to. And we come across this guy for our second game over here. Pretty average side right there, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to grab ourselves another win. But as soon as the game started, we get this aerial shot over here of the pitch. Very nice pitch indeed, even though we're away, and I should be saying that about the Etihad. But the screen starts to load and load until we finally disconnect. And I said, okay, you know what, that was a bit weird. Let's go ahead into the second game. And we come across this guy who's got a much better team than the last guy. He's got a pretty strong Premier League side over here with some City players in there. Yaya Toure, Aguero, which is just so annoying when I verse Aguero and I don't have him yet. David Silva, Otamendi, Company, and Courtois in that. So it was going to be a pretty tough game. But in the 5th minute over here, we would create a chance. David Silva to Iheanacho. Iheanacho with some great footwork right there sends Bony through on goal, but Bony obviously can't exactly cut in, so he low crosses it into Iheanacho, and Iheanacho once again proving he can be lethal. And sometimes I really question whether or not I should start him with Aguero in the future rather than Bony. It's something that we're doing in real life recently, and I really think it might end up working better because Bony isn't too great so far. I mean, he did when he first made his debut, he was pretty amazing, but now he hasn't really done much. Over there, though, he would try to go on the attack, and that wasn't a penalty, luckily. Fernandinho tries to clear it over here. And it freezes on that karate kick he's doing right there, and I say, yo, what is going on, EA? Another disconnect. This is so annoying. I probably could have won this game. I am winning this game, and it disconnects again, but we end up getting the win, which I couldn't believe. But apparently, according to some things I've heard, when you're winning and it disconnects, you get the win, even if the guy didn't rage quit and it was an EA disconnect. So that was a little bit cheap, but we get 3 points. We're 3-0-3. And then we go ahead into the third game, hoping that the third time's a charm and we don't disconnect this time. And this guy has a pretty amazing side over here, a pretty strong Serie A side over here with Pogba, Dybala, and Inform Hamsik right there. So it was going to be a difficult side. And I'm not going to say this is an excuse, but we are in a little bit low fitness, so some mistakes can happen. And over here, Speaking of mistakes, Otamendi makes a terrible mistake right there as he keeps Mandzukic on through on goal, and he splits our defense right there. And if I could just show you guys that again, Otamendi, oh my god, dude, he really... What happened was I tried to switch to player so I can chase down Mandzukic, and ended up switching to Otamendi really quick though, and then I managed to switch to the player I wanted to. But Otamendi kept him on side, and that was really frustrating. And Otamendi once again making a mistake, can't catch up to Nainggolan right there, and he finds the back of the net. So we're down 2-0. Essentially, it is my mistake, but I really feel that Otamendi really should have got the ball right there. That was an easy intersection, but it is what it is. Otamendi was the hero for a few times against us. I guess it makes sense that he's the villain at least one time. But we head into the second half, down 2-0, and once again, we're getting dominated. We can't create any chances, and we're going to hope for a second better half. And that's not something I really should be saying with a team like this, and it's actually very similar to real life. City have a great team on paper, but when you put them out on the pitch, they don't really do that great, and I honestly don't know what's going on. We do the same sub that we did in the first game over here, put De Bruyne at cam, Yaya Toure in the CDM role, but this time we put Sterling up top for a burst of pace. I bring on Nasri because I don't want to obviously have Iheanacho at left mid. So hopefully we can create something with that. We have Navas and Sterling with pace, and hopefully we can get a counterattack. And we would get one in the 80th minute over here. He would try to create a chance over here, but Paris loses the ball. Nasri sends Sterling through with an amazing pass, and both these guys are already showing that they can work well together. Sterling through on goal, misses it. But luckily, Navas bails us out with a great finish on his left foot. I'm not too sure how he scored it right there because the way he was balanced was a bit weird, but he managed to hook it in with his left foot, grab us a first goal, and we are now back into this game. In the 88th minute, we get fouled with Otamendi at the edge of the box, and De Bruyne has a great chance to be the hero over here. Can he do it? Unfortunately not, as it hits the post. He clears it out, and that would be all she wrote because we end up losing the game 2-1. Another loss in Division 5. This one was a pretty frustrating one because if that De Bruyne free kick went in, we would have rescued a point. And even though we played a pretty terrible first half and we didn't exactly deserve the win, a draw would have been something heroic right there. So another good opponent, another deserved win for him, and it was just the team is not clicking, and I'm starting to worry because we have an amazing squad. This squad costs a lot of money, and like I said, much like in real life, we are not getting results. So hopefully in the future we can somehow start to pick it up. I might have to play around with the formations again. I have no idea what to do, but hopefully we can pick it up. Anyways, guys, this has been episode 31 of my road to Manchester City. Thank you so much for watching. We're so close to the Aguero. My name is PBD, and I'm out.